I'm really glad I'm filming this after Saturday evening, and England versus Senegal now on Tuesday at the City Ground is a different dynamic. It's almost Thomas Tuchel fighting to justify his job at the moment because he's getting a lot of hate, and despite that, probably right up there with one of the worst England performances I have ever seen, given the fact that it's Andorra. The 1-0 victory was a shambolic performance, and obviously I'll be talking a lot about that in this video. Stick around to the end of the video for my score prediction for the England-Senegal game, which has no doubt changed as a result of the performance yesterday. Andorra pushing for an equaliser with 3 minutes to go pretty much sums it up. Tuchel will be getting a lot of the blame, but it's completely unfair. The players have to take responsibility, and people need to come at the players. It was completely unacceptable from top to bottom. Madueke and Rodgers arguably had all right games, and that was it really. Palmer completely ineffective. Kane a little bit missing despite his goal, but to only win 1-0 in Andorra is just... it's verging on embarrassing and completely unacceptable. 7,000 England fans went on that away visit. There's no other country in Europe at all who are taking 7,000 fans away from home to watch them play, to watch Andorra. They're not. And that is the thanks they get. It's just not acceptable. This idea, and it's been a couple of years, hasn't it, where, yes, I know we beat Macedonia 7-0 at the same time, but we got battered by Hungary at this sort of period in the season before. Players are just doing what they want. I don't subscribe to this overplaying nonsense, absolute nonsense. 1 or 2 games a week is not too much for professional athletes on 100, 200,000 pound a week. It's just not. It's ridiculous. And this excuse that the players are clearly calling it in. They're calling it in. They're not turning up. They don't want to be there. And it's just not acceptable. England-Senegal, though, is a huge different kettle of fish, because if we play anything like that against Senegal on Tuesday, we'll get beat. We will get beat. And I look back to last year, and Brazil beat us in a friendly last year. You might think, okay, fair enough, but that was in a period where they were playing really poorly. Iceland beat us last year, if you remember. Belgium were unlucky not to beat us last year, a team that most people would state at the minute that they're pretty much finished their golden generation. Tuesday's a tough match. Tuesday is a very, very tough match. And looking at Senegal's squad here, there's players that are recognisable to Premier League fans. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson, Ismail Sarr, 2 key players. Sadio Mane isn't fit, thank God. It, of course, will be at the City Ground, which I think may have a better impact, the same way that the Macedonia game being at Old Trafford did. I think if this was at Wembley, forget it. I think Senegal would be in with a shout at winning this. There's a difference here, though, isn't there? And it shows that under Gareth Southgate, what he brought was just comfort. He brought comfort to these players. Come and play for England, and no matter what, I'll take the stick. You guys will be fine. I'll never call you out on it for poor performances. His ethos was happy camp, really, and it almost paid dividends for him. Ultimately, it nearly worked. Thomas Tuchel's the complete opposite, because he's only in for a short period of time, and in his press conference, he's calling these players out. He's saying that's not good enough, the attitude's disgusting. It's going to be interesting to see how these players react to this, because for those younger fans, you'll not remember this is the norm in terms of a manager would criticise the players playing for England, and all of a sudden getting called up for England becomes a toxic sort of thing. Players don't want to be there, and it becomes a whole different dynamic. Fans calling for Tuchel to be kicked out, though, after 3 games is just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, they've not been a great 3 games, but we're not going to judge Tuchel on sort of nights like these, are we? But all of a sudden, Tuchel's looking like he needs a performance. He needs a performance in a friendly game to sort of set all those nerves that are coming through, and those anxieties and those worries from England fans that I've seen nothing but rubbish since he's been appointed, if we're being honest. And again, you can't just look at Tuchel. Senegal have just played Ireland, drew 1-1, so that possibly fills us with a bit of optimism. Ireland, of course, a team who we beat relatively comfortably in the Nations League. Of course, England's last and only game against Senegal was that 3-0 victory against Senegal in the round of 16 at the World Cup in 2022, only a few years ago, and England, probably one of England's better performances, or one of England's best performances over recent years. Senegal at the time were the African Cup of Nations champions, and people fancied them. People fancied for Senegal to potentially cause an upset, and on that night you had Saka, Kane, Foden, Bellingham all playing absolutely out the skin. I'm not expecting 3-0 Tuesday night, certainly not after last night's performance, and yes, we are probably going to see a step up. It's not so much about the fact that we only scored, it's the attitude. It's the attitude of the players. We know England have more in the locker, But like Tuchel said, it's not acceptable. That was a World Cup friendly. It was a competitive match. People have paid money. You're in the entertainment industry, lads. Let me give you a reality check. Footballers, you are an entertainer. Very well paid one, but you're here to entertain us. And it wasn't professional. Me or you at no point can think, you know what, this is going to be easy. I'm going to do a half-assed job. We can't do that, so why can they? And Tuchel has rightly called it out. But that's the biggest worry, their attitude. Not so much worried about, does England have another level? We do have another level. But the attitude speaks volumes, doesn't it? I mean, what my score prediction, let's get this out of the way. I was going to go for, I was going to go for a comfortable victory for England. I really was. Not like 4-0, but I was going to go for like a 3-0 again. I'm going to draw that back. I'm going to go for 1-1. I am going to go for 1-1. I think England are going to concede because we were shaky at the back. Dan Burn, I think, has played himself completely out of the squad for next year because he looked shaky against Andorra. But I do think we'll concede. Unless Senegal come at us and we completely transform the way we play, I didn't see anything last night that convinces me that we're going to score more than one on the night. So I think 1-1 at this point in time is a reasonable prediction. The problem is, though, that will do Thomas Tuchel no favours whatsoever. He needs a convincing victory, really. The next international break is in September, and that's Andorra at home, which will be another victory. But then it's a massive game, huge game of Serbia away. Now, Serbia and Albania did draw last night, which massively helps England out. But Serbia away is the group. If England win there, we've won it. But playing like this, I tell you what, I'm worried. I am really, really worried. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, on Tuesday is England shirt day. So if you're going to the game, wear your England shirt. If you're not, still wear your England shirt. We want everybody in your England shirt on Tuesday night. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you all on my next video.